Hi, welcome back to the Listen Up Girl podcast, your daily LGBTQ plus news podcast. I am Zach Randall-Friedman, the host of the show. Today is day 21 of Pride Month 2026, and we are in the final stretch of June, and the community is showing up in the streets, in courts, and honestly everywhere that matters. So let's get into it. First Capitol Pride concert is today in D.C. If you are anywhere near Washington, D.C. today, here's where you need to be. Pennsylvania Avenue, right in front of the U.S. Capitol, for the Capitol Pride concert. It's completely free. This year's lineup is stacked. Grammy Award-winning bisexual country pop star Maren Morris is headlining. She'll be joined by queer rapper Likili 47, freestyle legend Lisa, Toronto DJ and producer Harrison, and the freshest winner in drag history, Myki, who just took the crown on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18. The festival kicks off at noon and runs until 10 p.m. and wraps up with a Capitol Sunset Dance Project. The Capitol Pride Alliance put it perfectly. In a moment when LGBTQ people are being challenged across the country, the Capitol Pride Concert is a space where our community is fully seen and heard. This is exactly the energy we need right now, right in front of the building where so many of the attacks on our country have been signed off on. Go and be loud, be proud, and give the establishment something to see. Next, we go to Chicago Pride Fest wraps up 25th anniversary. While D.C. is celebrating on Pennsylvania Avenue, a neighborhood in Chicago is closing out day 2 of the 25th annual Chicago Pride Fest, and it was massive. A 2-day street festival took over Northalsted Street this weekend with 3 stages of live music, 4 drag shows, the beloved Proud Pet Parade, a teen pride space, and more than 150 food, art, and merchandise vendors. Headliners this year include Duran Bernard and G Flip. Chicago Pride Fest is not to be confused with the city's main Pride Parade. That's coming June 28th. But this weekend had just been the community's warm-up. The full parade is officially themed Be Free to Be Proud, with the Puerto Rican Cultural Center leading the procession, and a nod to the intersection of heritage, housing, and LGBTQ advocacy. So mark your calendars. Next, House of Dragon Season 3 premieres today with non-binary star Emma Darcy. It's Pride Month needed one more reason to celebrate today. Here it is. House of Dragon Season 3 drops tonight on HBO and Max, and at the center of it all is a non-binary British actor, Emma Darcy, reprising their role as the Queen of Targaryen. Darcy has been one of the most visible non-binary stars working in a major television right now, and they are not quiet about what that means. In a recent interview ahead of the premiere, they said, and I love this, that being visible as a non-binary person is the only meaning I can see in having a public profile. They also spoke openly about being in a turbulent time for the LGBTQ plus community and do my job. I know that this is a great privilege. Season 3 consists of 8 episodes and runs through August. The red carpet premiere was held in London on June 8th. If you haven't started the series, there is no better time than now. And tonight's premiere is a moment for our community to celebrate one of our own, doing it at the highest level of the industry. Our next story, Castro bars are scanning your face and the community is not happy. Here's a story that started as a local San Francisco issue and is now rippling through the entire queer community, and it should. Several bars in the Castro, the iconic LGBTQ plus neighborhood in San Francisco, have quietly installed facial recognition technologies at their door. The devices are called Patreon Scan Guard Plus, made with Canadian company called Surveil Data Systems. They're being marketed as bars as a way to identify IDs and flag banned Patreons. But here's what they're actually doing: collecting your name, address, gender, and biometric data the moment you walk in. Privacy advocates and digital rights organizations are raising the alarm and are for a very specific reason. One person summed it up in a social media post that they went viral. They worried about a corporation keeping a list of gay people in 2026. The framing hit home for a lot of people in our community. A lawsuit has already been filed in Illinois alleging Patreon Scan collected biometric data from event goers without consent, and LGBTQ plus advocates note the biometric data is in the wrong hands or in the hands of an increasingly hostile federal government. possesses unique risk for queer people. The Castro's own history is built on being a safe haven, a sanctuary where you could exist without surveillance or fear. This deserves every ounce of pushback it's getting. Next, Canadian teens arrested for burning a school's pride flag. A story across the border that underscores a disturbing trend. Hate crimes targeting LGBTQ+ communities are continuing to rise even during Pride Month. 2 18-year-olds in Ontario, just outside of Toronto, have been charged with mischief in connection with a hate crime after allegedly tearing down a pride flag from the local secondary school and setting it on fire. York Regional Police identified the 2 suspects after the incident, which took place on the night of June 8th. Police confirmed that they are treating it as a hate-motivated crime. GLAAD's Alert Desk has reported that June 2025 saw nearly 400% more anti-LGBTQ hate incidents than June of 2022, when they first started collecting data. That trend is getting worse, not better, as pride visibility increases. Hate crimes don't happen in a vacuum. They're fueled by rhetoric from public leaders who have spent years demonizing our community. Charges matter and accountability matters. And then next, federal whiplash, trans health in prison, blocked, briefly unblocked, and then blocked again. And finally, a story about a single day in court that felt like whiplash, and it happened just 2 days ago. On June 18th, the U.S. Court of Appeals for D.C. District Court issued an order that would have briefly allowed the Orange Convicted Felons Administration to begin enforcing a policy that strips transgender people in federal of access to gender-affirming care. But before the day was even over, the lower district court judge stepped back in and granted a new preliminary injunction against blocking the policy. The case has been bouncing through court since late 2024. The policy in question will prevent trans people in federal custody from receiving hormone therapy and other gender-affirming care that AMA and the APA and other major medical organizations say is medically necessary. Advocates for trans incarcerated people have had to fight court order by court order just to protect access to care that should be considered a basic human right. The administration keeps pushing, the courts keep pushing back, but the fact that we're having this fight at all over whether trans people in prison deserve basic medical care says everything about where we are in 2026. So that is your news for Sunday, June 21st, the 21st day of Pride Month 2026. 9 days left in the month, and I'm not going anywhere. If Listen Up Girl has been your news source for this Pride season, please take 30 seconds and leave a rating and a review wherever you're listening. It genuinely makes a difference in how people find this show. Follow us, subscribe so you never miss a day, and share today's episode with someone who needs to hear it. You can find me on social media at TheRealZachRE. Now go enjoy your Sunday, and if you're in DC or Chicago, get out there. The community is worth celebrating every single day. Thanks for listening.